Okay, let's review something called the distributive property. This is also called the break apart and put back together method because that is essentially what we're doing. Distributive property is just the official name. So let's start with small numbers. Let's do 3 times 5. So first, we'll make an array with 3 rows and 5 in each row so that we can visually see how this multiplication works. So let's break it apart. We split it here. So now we have made 2 arrays. One has 3 rows with 2 in each row. The other has 3 rows with 3 in each row. So we can see 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 3 is 9. And then we put it back together. 6 plus 9 is 15. So 3 times 5 is 15. And you might be saying, 3 times 5 is 15. I already have that memorized. And that is okay. The reason why we start with small numbers is so that we can draw an array, so that we can see how this works. And then when you understand how it works, you can start using bigger numbers. So let's try 9 times 6. Okay, so if we break the 9 up into 5 and 4, 5 is a pretty friendly number because we know our 5 times tables really well, and 4 we've been practicing. So if we have 5 groups of 6 and 4 groups of 6, then we can do that in our head mentally. 5 times 6 is 30, 4 times 6 is 24, and then we put it back together. 30 plus 24 is 54. 9 times 6 is 54. You see how we broke it apart first, and then we put it back together by addition. You might also be saying, well, 9 times 6, I have that memorized too, and that is totally fine. But this strategy does help when you're using even bigger numbers. So let's try it. 36 times 7. Now this is some big numbers, but if you understand the distributive property, you can actually do this in your head. So let's break 36 up into some friendly numbers. 30 and 6. So we have 30 groups of 7, and we have 6 groups of 7. So I know 3 times 7 is 21, so 3 tens times 7 is 21 tens, which is also 210. And I know 6 times 7 is 42. Now I can add those up pretty easily. 210 plus 42 is 252. So 36 times 7 is 252. And if you get really good at this, you can just do it in your brain and you don't have to worry about writing it down. That is a distributive property.